Alright guys, this isn't a requested run, but I just wanted to play Montenegro because like the new update and everything. And this is technically my second run, so I kind of know what I want to do and kind of what the strat is. But I think we can do day one war in the Ottomans here. But you can see we have like 3 separate journal entries here. We have rating, which gives us money based on our rating fervor and power projection. We have some kind of thing with Russia here, which I haven't really completed it, so I don't know what visiting Russia does. And then apparently we can just annex Serbia for free. If we have them as a independent nation, we have a neighboring state with them, but that's kind of lame. Doesn't really do much. And there's a new feature, like to start supporting separatism. And I think that's the whole update, guys. At least for Montenegro. There's like some events and whatever, but And I think we're just gonna want a day one pass land-based taxation so we don't go broke. And there's this thing when we go for land-based taxation where we can just get 25% easy enactment success chance. So we'll just click that button. My interest activated, so I'm going to declare for the Ottoman capital here. And we can probably call in both Russia and Austria, but we'll see. Apparently, maybe if we just change our government a little bit, then they'll like us more. And they'll hopefully want to join us. Yep, Austria would at least. So we can, I guess, become their protectorate. And then Russia just doesn't really want to join for some reason. But we should probably win this war, right? So I'll just add the return state, make that primary, and then conquer, I think, Bosnia. And then there should be the war here. I mean, we have pretty good advantage, so this is a lot better than playing to 1945 and not having a single state other than what we start with. Wait, fervor from primary quarters, what? This seems like a new mechanic, and apparently Austria having alliances and defensive pacts reduces my liberty desire even more. Same with army power projection, which didn't used to be a thing, so they kind of reworked the liberty desire a little bit. The goal of this run is just to conquer probably the Balkans, the Ottoman capital, and maybe Danubia, and then just stop there, and then just play tall or whatever. I don't really want to go super high infamy and conquer all of Europe again, because that's, you know, after doing it like 9 times, it kind of gets repetitive for me. But yeah, looks like we were able to damage relations enough to where we're actually increasing in autonomy. It might be pretty difficult to get independence, but, you know, whatever. It should be fine. And I think we can peace out now. Yep, we can. There we go. So, in the first year, pretty much, we're already a lot bigger. Oh, okay. We can just get 20 offense and defense for 50 years. That's pretty cool. I think Montenegro has a bunch of, like, insane military buffs. They're kind of like Circassia with all their different buffs and different things like that. We do get a bunch of military bonuses, which is pretty cool, but, you know, won't really change much. I'm so glad they didn't show how many years it would take to incorporate when hovering over. And I have to manually look over here and see, oh wow, it's going to take 10 years. But, you know, whatever. I guess that feature will have to be in a different DLC. The Integrate States DLC, you know? We have a reference to the DLC name, guys. National... Okay, and it disappeared. But those like Wallonian National Awakening or whatever. So, I guess that has to do with, like, the support separatism and the fervor and all the other things. I wonder if they made these buttons actually do anything other than just... Nope, it just still does bolster and still does suppression. Alright. Guys, why am I, like, very low taxation and I have, like, 28 legitimacy? What is this? What do you mean too busy rating? Why does rating reduce my legitimacy? So I just get 25 legitimacy from clicking that button? Okay, that's very cool. So if you just go to 100% rating fervor, then you're just 0 legitimacy. Okay. They did this whole content pack, and they didn't remove the weirdest bug ever where a country declines a treaty twice. Like, I'll just show you. If I just send a treaty that I know they're going to decline, they decline it for the first time, and then I wait a little bit, and then they decline it a second time. And looks like my truce with the Ottomans is over. So I'll just declare on the Ottomans here, take some more states, you know. It's going to be annoying every single time, hearing this war sound every single time I close and open a tab, like what? I know I'm at war, alright? I don't need to hear it 6 times. And we won against the Ottomans. So Serbia is independent. And I am a subject of Austria, so I can't get Serbia. I should have read that. And we can declare on the Ottomans again. Doesn't seem like anyone will help them. So, yep, we'll just declare. And we won against the Ottomans. Nice. A little bit of border gore, but I think it's fine. I'm just gonna declare on the Ottomans here. I can have like 7,000 conscripts, so I doubt we really need to worry about that. And I'm pretty sure Bulgaria is gonna side against us, which is not the greatest, but you know, it doesn't really matter much. So I'm gonna kick the Ottomans out of the Balkans, and I'm gonna full annex Bulgaria in this war. We're kind of losing so much money, but it's fine. We can peace out now. So we're looking pretty good right now, you know? We have the Ottomans completely kicked out of the Balkans. We just kind of want to get our independence sometime soon. What do you mean war crimes and Turkish horrors? What is this? I don't want my infamy increased by 50. I don't want it increased by 10, and I don't want it increased by 15 or 30, so I don't really know. I guess I can just reduce the British opinion a little bit. So just that button, I guess, whatever. Alright guys, I'm here from the future, and it seems like Austria is going to regime change me, so I'm just going to say no, and just go for independence now. And they still regime change me, even though I declared for my independence. Very cool, thank you. I think the Greek revolt doesn't really know what they're doing. They're kind of just popping up and out of the thing every 2 seconds, and I just have to hear that sound over and over and over and over again. Alright, we can peace out with Austria. So we are now an independent country, and we're kind of like in the middle of a rev right now, but we're looking a little good. But yeah, we're looking pretty good, except for this random black little frontline things in the middle of my screen, but you know, whatever. We pretty much just want to take one more state from Austria, full annex Hungary, get Romania, Serbia, Greece, Ionian Islands, and we pretty much have the borders we want. Oh, we got multiculturalism, that easy, huh? Totally didn't save scumming, guys. It was completely natural. This is a completely legit run, alright? This patch feels unfinished, and it just seems like they kind of just threw it together last second, because I don't think this should be like, I think after a little bit of playtime and play testing, you'd kind of realize how annoying this can be, but you know, whatever. What is the map mode doing? Why is it like so weird every single week? It's changing, like, what? Why is it going, like, what is going on in the world? What's this migration? I don't understand. Alright, I think it's about time I just declare on the Hungarians here. Return my rightful Montenegrin land. And then call in GB with call ally. And the Americans and the Germans sided against me. Everyone just doesn't want me having fun. Nothing like World War I in 1884, guys. Oh, there's like roughly 2.3 million people on the front line here, and I'm losing 1 million a week. Oh my god, I might have a little bit too many conscripts, guys. Oh, well, Germany's out, so we have a good advantage now. And we can finally peace out with the Hungarians. Only took like 20 million years. She can fix him, she can fix him, she can fix him. I don't think he can be fixed. And India broke apart, apparently. I think I'll just form Sovereign Empire. Like, why not, I guess. Oh, looks like Greece is trying to declare on me. That's cool. Alright, well, we won against Greece, so we took 2 of their states. Subventions? I'm paying like 400k in subventions. That's like half my entire government cost. They're just subventions. This whole game, it's 1907, and I think that was like from the start of the game. There's no way. Oh my god, guys. Holy crap. Oh my god, I'm a massive noob. The observer frontline bug is so crazy, bro. Just let me take my land in peace. Oh, what the? Why did Germany start a war against me? Oh my god, you bastard. I have like such insane demoralization. I don't understand why it's so insane. Oh my god, finally, they're gonna start ticking down. Oh my god, I can peace out. And I guess I want to go for the achievement, so I'll just declare on the Ottomans here. Alright, well, the Ottomans back down if I don't make anything primary, but if I add something as primary, then I'm over 100 infamy. So I guess we just kind of click this button and hope for the best, guys. We're 108 infamy. So I'll just declare on some people. You know, why not, I guess. If I knew I was going to go high infamy, I would have went for the military treaty, but I guess it's whatever. Alright, we can peace out with the Ottomans, so we should get the achievement. There we go, David slays Goliath, which you get whenever the Ottomans don't exist. I think we'll take this. I didn't even know there would be an event for it. It didn't really say. But yeah, plus 50% infamy decay. I guess the morale recovery is pretty cool. I'm in the training rate, so I'll just take this one. Although the infamy decay modifier is not really gonna change much. But we are no longer raiding, apparently, even though I haven't been raiding, like, the whole game. Alright, guys, well, I'm just gonna end it here. You know, it's October 21st, 1935. The world map's looking a little crazy. There's a lot of border gore. Why is it... I have so many questions. What's going on here? I'm just not gonna even comment on that. But I did my own bit of border gore. You know, I have some independent subjects, which I wanted to annex. But you can't annex your subjects while you're in a play. And if America just declared war on me, did absolutely nothing, and just sat around for 10 years. So that was pretty cool. I tried to declare on the British, and then I tried to transfer Ionian Islands, but apparently Ionian Islands is like super fortified, you know, 69 million men defending this little piece of land, so I guess it was impossible or whatever. If I just show the power block, I own most of India. Well, a solid chunk of it, just as subjects. I don't know why there's two different Jabal Shamars or whatever, and two separate Bavarias, but that kind of just adds character to the run. I don't know how I feel about this run, guys. It was definitely one of the runs of all time, you know? I don't know. The more I look at this map, the more interesting it turns out to be. East Java. Alright. And then Dutch East Indies still exists. Argentina, I think, has had the best game I've ever seen from them. I don't know if there was like some specific update for them or if there's any content for them or anything, but you know, it's really impressive how big they are. And they're atheists as well. Okay. And Mexico owns Alaska. What? I'm number 1 GDP in the world. Number 2 population. Our companies are doing pretty good. I guess if I look globally, we're probably not even number 1. We aren't. There's Belgium, and we have number 2 and number 3. But I'm just going to share my thoughts on this patch. Keep in mind, guys, the goal of this run was just to pretty much take the strategic regions of Danubia, the Balkans, and then this one state from the Ottomans, and just play tall from there. And then I guess also this one state as well, Istria, to make it look pretty. But that was the goal. Just one tag, you know, looking pretty good, play tall. I didn't want to go high infamy this run, but in order to get the achievement, I kind of needed it. And then also so I could annex these 3 tags, which was like 30 infamy each, you know, for under a mil pop, like 150k, you know, 150k pops. I think I should pay 30 infamy for that, you know. And Slovakia as well, even though it's a split state, you know, 30 infamy for that as well. So I made these guys protectorates. I get the whole like infamy decay thing. Even like 100% plus infamy decay modifier, it's not really that much. You can maybe like expand a little bit more. You can take 1 or 2 more states per war. But when each state costs like 30 infamy, like I don't know what to say, you know? If it was like infamy cost reduction, that would be a completely different thing. I have so many issues with this patch. And I came into it blind. I didn't watch any videos about it. I didn't watch any dev diaries. I didn't look at any of it. I kind of knew that it would be affecting kind of this area of the map, like Europe, just for a certain region of it, like Austria-Hungary. I knew there was a Montenegro thing, but the content feels kind of like a letdown. The whole gimmick of the Montenegro run is just, you know, infamy decay modifiers. I couldn't care less about it, you know, infamy decay, especially as high infamy player. And like, this would have been so much better if it was an infamy reduction modifier. I mean, the whole rating thing, like it reduces your legitimacy by 25% all the way up to 100% legitimacy removal. That kind of needs some rebalancing. Like I don't know who in the world's gonna go 100% rating and just 0 legitimacy the whole game. That like doesn't make sense. Maybe if you're saving yourself from bankruptcy or something like that, then it would kind of matter like a little bit for 3 years until you turn it off again. Click here. Yep, I can queue this, but if I hold shift now, it sends it all the way to the back, you know? You'd think it would be like a small change just to hit 2 buttons and then click and it sends it to the front, but you know, whatever. They didn't patch the debt cap exploit. Like if I just, you can see our credit right now is 825 million. If I just lower my production methods and I reduce my GDP here, we can see that I fell a lot in GDP and I have 825 million principal. Then after a week tick, because my GDP was decreased, my principal decreased to 764 million. So I just deleted a lot of debt. And then what I can do is I can just re-raise all those production methods. Alright, well I increased it back, so if I just unpause, you can see my credit is the same from after I increased my GDP, so I can just delete debt this way, and it's really useful for high infamy, and as a high infamy player, it's really nice to exploit the game and just remove the default modifier, and it doesn't really affect me, but just for game balance, you know, it's kind of, I don't really want to advocate for exploits in the game, but when they exist, I'm going to use it. They could have like tried to patch that at least. I mean, another thing, if I just, like you hear that sound over and over? because I sure do, and I heard it maybe a few hundred times this run, and that's so fun. And they're probably gonna patch that soon, but like, why would you have that on repeat, you know? For every single war, for every single rev? I don't need to hear it every single time. I think just once is pretty good, you know? And another thing, like if I want to declare for this useless piece of land, unincorporated state, and I just want to conquer it, why is it 21.3 infamy to conquer this? When for Morocco, it's 10.8. Germany had this one province here, and it cost me 30 infamy for that, like for this one piece of India, when I can just, you know, full annex like this country, for example, and it'll probably be like 10 infamy. There should be some kind of country thing where it reduces the infamy taking from that state. I guess maybe like, oh, it's a European country and they're recognized, so this random piece of land should cost full infamy cost. But like, it shouldn't just be whether or not it's incorporated. It should also be like, if they conquered it from a recognized country recently, you're looking at like 300 infamy worth of land from GB here, when otherwise it would be so much less. There was no money transfer balancing, which I consider an exploit. Like if I just give China here 7,000, it's going to give me 51 reasons. I don't think GDP of 200 million is really going to have any impact from 6,000 or 7,000 or whatever it was. So it's super easy just to go to a country, give them literal pennies, and then you get 70 reasons from it, you know? So that needs balancing. That wasn't really patched. I consider it an exploit. You can't start a play with a return state demand, at least as far as I am aware. So I can declare for conquer, I can declare for annex, but I can't declare for return state, even though my subject here has a claim. You know, it would be very cool if they added that where you can just return state as the primary war goal for one of your subjects. They are a puppet, so if I declare war to annex country, they're gonna join on my side. And if I declare for humiliate here, I can't return state. So for single state countries, you can't return state. Something that should have been patched as well or fixed. As far as I'm aware, there's still no way to see the net migration. It shows annual projected pop growth, but there's no annual projected migration. That is something that I would assume wouldn't require too much work, and you could just kind of plop it down right below here. But they didn't change it so that you can auto-defend from naval invasions. It's so much unnecessary micro to defend from a naval invasion. And the most annoying part is you have to wait until they start the progress for the invasion before you can defend from it. But if they start a naval invasion, and they aren't ready, then you can't defend, you know? You have to wait until they're all ready, they're all set up, and then you can defend, which is super annoying because it's like, what, 10 days or something? Maybe 30 before they can invade? So you'll just have a naval invasion chilling there, and you have to wait for a certain amount of time, and it gives you a certain window until you can actually defend. And that could have been fixed. Right click on a naval invasion before they're all set up and prepared, and you can defend, and you don't need to check every 30 seconds to make sure that you're not getting full occupied. And they didn't fix the army units entering your army from all these different places, which is incredibly amazing, you know? I set up this clean army, 200 conscripts, and then if I just look here, why do I need all these different states here, you know? Like I try to have clean armies, and then all these units just enter my army, and it's even more annoying when you have a rev brewing and you just can't delete any of them. So you're just kind of stuck with this massive army, and if I just want to separate them all out, what I need to do is I need to go one by one. I need to transfer them out. I need to go by state for all these separate states, by the way, to get them out of here. So that's really cool, you know? But with all my ranting and all my critiques, what I'm trying to say is this patch could have been amazing. It could have been a lot of bug fixes. It could have been quality of life, but it was solely just immersion. I expected a lot more. The run itself is great. You know, the update's great. I just have a lot of issues with the state of the game, and there's a lot of things they could have fixed, which would have been amazing and really quality of life, but I guess we'll need to wait 3 months for that until they do quality of life update, and that'll cost another $10 or whatever. Maybe hopefully it's free bug fixes, you know? That'd be insane if there's if they just put bug fixes as a DLC and you have to pay money to have quality of life bug fixes. The run was pretty fun. I'm sure there's a lot of content for Austria-Hungary and Serbia and Romania. And the Ottomans, I'm pretty sure, got reworked. There's like new laws now. I'm not really complaining about the update itself. I hope you guys enjoyed me whining about everything and this scuffed run. You know, if I just look at the map here, very cursed. But that should be the video, guys. And just as a final note, I'm being super critical here, but there's a bunch of things I enjoy. I'm just expressing the things I dislike, because everyone's gonna have like an Austria run, Hungary run. They're gonna praise all the new content, and they're gonna do whatever, but I think I'm gonna be pretty much the only person complaining, you know? But the run was fun, the update's great. For $10, I think it's a great DLC. I'm not sure what's free, I'm not sure what's part of the paid DLC, but overall the content's amazing, the update's great. Just a lack of, you know, bug fixes, but that's whatever. I think a lot of people are gonna have a lot of fun with this. Maybe not Montenegro, but like Hungary or Austria or whatever. But that should be the video, guys. Have a good one.